Thank You Dance was a section in the Queen's Platinum Jubilee Pageant, which was a tribute to the Queen's 70 years of reign, but most importantly to the key workers from Thurrock and Milton Keynes for their contribution to society during the pandemic.
It's a piece with over 250 participants, and it's a dance which is about celebrating key workers, so our volunteers, our young people, all the people who look after us in society, really.
We went out to our own community and say, nominate a key worker. Why do you think they're so special? What is their role? Who benefits from them? Tell us about them. We selected 14 from Thurrock and 14 from Milton Keynes, and of those, 7 each are actually portrayed on the scrolls.
It's a 5-metre high scroll, so it's quite heavy and the wind does catch it, but we've got strong arms, we're ready today. I'm going to be carrying it down the mall to Buckingham Palace, and it represents the key workers from Thurrock and Milton Keynes and everything everyone's done during the pandemic and continues to do.
While these scroll bearers are holding these 14 big flags, at the same time I thought, well, how about 14 professional dancers just could tell their story? So instantly we thought, yes, brilliant.
And so this isn't just like, let's thank all the nurses. No, this is let's thank Valerie for what she did in Tilbury. Let's thank Kevin for what he did at the Gateway Academy. Let's thank Stevie as a paramedic who set up a flower shop in her ambulance. And all these really personal stories, they're real people with real stories and experiences. And I think through these personal stories, we get to feel more what their real experience is and how much they contribute.
I am part of a local community organisation that supports local people to fulfil their potential in Tilbury, and we have got lots of partnership working that we do with Kinetika and quite a lot of local key workers.
I was nominated by Thurrock CVS, which is a Citizen Volunteers Service. They nominated me because of the work we've been doing together. I borrowed a van from the Thurrock Council, and I went to supermarkets, got free food, and I made sure that most of the young people that I work with had food, and if I had any left over, that went to different places like community halls, it went to old folks sheltered housing unit, just making sure that everybody was okay.
I work a lot with government and help change government policy for young carers and young people to ensure that they get the future that they deserve, and obviously I learned from my past history how kind of the system, and I try to help the system and try to fix the system.
They say that I connect with people easily, and that's why I was selected. We have 3 queens. One is the Queen of Planet, one is the Queen of Milton Keynes, and one is the Queen of Thurrock, and I'm a Queen of Milton Keynes.
During the pandemic, when we, as an ambulance service, really quite busy and lots of places were closed and we wasn't able to kind of get any food or drinks during the day. So I literally went to Costco and just bought as much stuff as I could, and then went to work and said, I've got all this stuff, can I take it up to the hospital? And we just every day would find a vehicle to load all the stuff onto and take it to the local hospital. Just for my colleagues that I work with, that we just were struggling to get anywhere, and just 5 minutes to offload and actually have that time after you've been to jobs to say, okay, breathe.
Our focus was to ensure that learning could continue, primarily, but very quickly we recognised that there were some families in need. So the focus then branched out to include how we support families and young people to get them through the difficulties that they experience. And what was particularly humbling is how colleagues and the wider community rose to that challenge and were really selfless in what they did in terms of their time, energy and resources. We all dipped our hands into our pockets to provide food for those families who were most needy. A challenging time, but actually really reinforced what we knew was already there in terms of the generosity of our staff and the wider community.
We divided the group into sections, so we had 50 flag bearers from Milton Keynes and 50 flag bearers from Thurrock. The 100 in total represented 100 community groups, which was fantastic. So something quite special that each flag bearer actually were representing an organisation. And then we thought, well, you've got the professional dancers, what else? The youth group. So it was the youth dance group from London, led by Hakeem, and this is Impact Dance. So they were part of it as well, because we wanted the intergenerational look as well as the cultural diversity.
So we did a section that was called The Queen of the People and the Planet. So we had a central character who was representing all forms of life, really. So she had, in her costume, she had reference to marine biology and extinct species.
I'll be on a very tall tower that's 4.5 meters high, and I will be basically doing the Queen's wave to say a big thank you to all the key workers, to the Queen, to all the people for getting us through COVID.
Our section is about celebration of young people coming together. We started rehearsing in April, and we've had a succession of rehearsals every Saturday. We've got young people between 11 and 27. The biggest dynamic was them working together, different abilities, different diversity, people from different backgrounds, different experiences.
And then we had one performance group from South Essex College and one performance group from Arts One in Milton Keynes. And that was really, really special.
There were 70 dancers, each one of whom had this large silk scarf which had an endangered species on it.
Each scarf that's been created is a silk scarf that's completely hand-painted by artists. It's something that represents our age and how we can have an impact on the environment.
I never ever thought I'd be able to dance down the Mall on the Jubilee, supporting and amazing the NHS workers. It feels really amazing to actually be able to show a thank you, like with all the routine.
We had the opportunity to record our volunteers saying thank you in as many different languages as we knew.
The choreography was about just simple steps together. It almost looked like a social dance, a little bit of cha-cha-cha, 1, 2, cha-cha-cha, thank you, obrigada, muchas gracias. It was just about celebrating diversity in Britain, and that was really important for me.
Thank you.
It was really important to be on the Mall and to be a big section, an important section, and to go, look, we are Thurrock, we are Milton Keynes, we are the key workers, and we're here, we're here in front of Buckingham Palace, and then you go home, back to Tilbury, and performed it through those streets.
They weren't all lining on either side of the streets. We were literally going through the residential areas. It was incredible. And then the care centres, the carers who came out to wave as Valerie waved at them. That's where she worked.
Thank you. There was a real difference between 2019 and 2022. You could really see how we had touched that community and built our connections with them.
Going global was to create something spectacular. And then Tilbury was like coming home. It was about coming home to say thank you to the people that gave us the gift and their stories for us to go global.
As we kind of got closer to the cruise terminal and came around into that car park, which was our performance arena, and it was full of families waiting to see this performance. That's never happened to me in Thurrock before. It was just like this was a moment where that whole community came together, either because they were in it performing or because they were watching their family members or their community members. To me, that's what the whole thing was all about.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gracias.
Obrigado. Daniel.
Asante sana.
Prima
Thank
casa.
you.
Gracias.
Asante sana.
Grazie. Thank you. Suglia.
Thanks for the memories. Thanks for the memories.
Dhanyavad.
Danke.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kamsia. Ngiyabonga.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Prima casa. Zikomo.
Sì. Obrigada.
Gracias. Diolch. Thanks for the memories.
Thank you.
Ngiyabonga.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
Dhanyavad.
Kamsana.
Diolch.
Suglia. Zikomo. Suglia.
Gracias.
Ngiyabonga. Danke. Obrigado.
Dhanyavad.
Asante sana.
Zikomo. Suglia.
Ngiyabonga.
Diolch.
Obrigado. Dhanyavad.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
Asante
Zikomo.
sana.
Grazie.
Thank you.